I want to share with you something that is a super simple email follow-up hack. So if you have any reason to follow up with somebody that you've sent an email to, whether that's a potential client, a prospect who you are having a sales conversation with and you need to follow up with them until you get a yes or a no, or if it's even just somebody that you send an email to inquiring about something or curious about something or a question that you want to have answered and you want to follow up with them, but you don't necessarily want to keep that email in your inbox. This works. This is something that works in Gmail or Google Apps if you have it. It also works. I know that there are other email service providers that offer this as part of their normal email account. And so you'll have to figure out if it works like in your email account, if this functionality is there, but it's super useful. And I'm using it a lot right now. I'm thinking about this and wanting to share it with you because I'm doing this end of year campaign for a price increase for my BTMS Insiders training library. Basically, I have lifetime access available, and I don't talk about it a whole lot, but it's something where you pay once and you get access for life to all of my training and all the other benefits of being a BTMS Insiders member. And one of the things that I do, one part of that offer is if you've ever invested in BTMS Insiders training before, I offer a 100% credit towards the lifetime fee for all the investments that you've made up until that point. So if you've been a monthly member or whatever, you can get that as credit towards the lifetime access. And so I have a lot of people requesting quotes. I've had some people that upgraded pretty much immediately. I've had some people that said, no, it's not the right time. I have a lot of people who are saying, oh, I'm waiting on a payment from a client, or, I haven't quite made a decision yet, or whatever, right? So there's a lot of people who are in this maybe space, right? And until the price actually goes up on January 1st, I want to make sure that I'm able to stay in touch with those people. And of course I don't pester them, but I want to keep the conversation going if they're interested. And so I do this thing. Basically I send an email to them, and this is the email follow-up hack, right? I send an email to them, and as soon as I send it, I go to that sent email, and Gmail has this function, or Google Apps, which I use for business. It has this function that is snooze, and you get to decide a time that it's going to drop that email back in your inbox, and it's going to say email snoozed on whatever date, right? And so it's going to drop that email back in your inbox on whatever date, and you will follow up with them at that point. Super easy, like super simple hack, right? When I used to sell as part of a sales team, I actually did the same thing where I would follow up with people regularly, and we were actually using Salesforce at the time, and I would create tasks on all the leads. And for that, because there were multiple sales people who were working on individual prospects, we had to be able to share it between people. But still, like, my leads were my leads and other people's were their leads. And I would create these tasks, and it was this big manual process of creating tasks and following up and including notes and all this stuff. And yeah, that's still really useful if you need to share all this data between a team, or you want to have a longer term like database of all your sales activity. And a CRM is a smart investment. But for my particular business, for this particular offer, I'm, because it's me primarily communicating with these people, and I'm happy keeping it simple. All that I'm doing is, as soon as I send that email with a custom quote, I snooze it. And usually after the first day, I'll snooze it till like the next day or next couple days. And then I'll snooze it to, hey, next week, whatever, depending on, the timeline of the deadline and all of that stuff. But this whole idea of just being able to snooze an email, when I was selling these high ticket IT training items, when I was selling like $30,000 training solutions, and I would have conversations, and it would go on for dozens of contacts across weeks or months, and sometimes even more than a year before they actually made that purchase, before they actually got it through purchasing, whatever. And every time when I would have an email interaction with somebody, I would just say, when is the next time that it would make sense to follow up with this person? So if they're really like hot, if they're really recent, it might make sense to follow up the next day. If they are, if it's just kind of an ongoing conversation or just a, hey, touch and base, then having a follow-up that's a week in the future, or 2 weeks in the future, 3 weeks in the future. I usually didn't like to go beyond 3 weeks for an active lead, but I could just send that out. And this is something that clearly I still do today, and it's something that's it's easier than ever before with these with the snooze functionality in Gmail. And so I would strongly encourage you to use this, and especially like if you run a client business, if you run a freelance copywriting business or whatever your client business is, and you're actually following up with people, this is something like this is part, my entire approach to client getting is very conversational. And one of the things that I do is have these really short conversational emails. And I actually teach it as part of the Launch Your Client Business mini course that's for free. I'll include a link in the description. And if you want to go much deeper into like all of this, I teach it as part of the client getting blueprint training that's part of BTMS Insiders. And like my approach is it's very conversational, but it's really effective. It's the emails can be as simple as, hey, I just want to confirm that you got this. Can you please confirm receipt? And then I send that out. And then if I haven't heard from them in however many days feels appropriate at that time, I'll reach out to them again. And again, like this, it's a super simple functionality to just be able to hit snooze in Gmail. And it says, when would you like to be reminded of this? And you are reminded of it at that particular time. And in the meantime, you can completely forget about it because you know and you can trust the system to bring it back to your awareness at this central place where you're going to go anyway. You're going to open up your email inbox and you're going to see it there when you need to see it. And by the way, at least the way that Gmail works, if you get a reply from that person before that snooze date, well, that whole snoozing of the conversation disappears. So you do have to snooze it again, but it shows up beforehand. So and it doesn't show up as this was snoozed. So it's super flexible, super useful. It's like having a whole extra person who is your assistant helping you. Like, oh, you should follow up with this person today, and it's highly effective for a salesperson to be able to have that ongoing conversation and to be able to have it at an interval that makes sense. And the snooze functionality just makes it so much easier. So I hope that's helpful. If you are interested in the Launch Your Client Business free mini course, it actually will last until after the price increase, but you can still check it out for free by clicking the link in the description. The Client Getting Blueprint, which is part of BTMS Insiders, I'll include that as a link in the description, and I'll include a link to the lifetime access as well. I don't know if it's appropriate for you, but if it is, it's an incredible deal to get lifetime access to all of my training for one fixed price, and you never pay another penny after today. My name is Roy Furr. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I'd love if you'd leave a comment below. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how valuable you found this simple tip, this hack, this advice, whatever you want to call it. Leave a comment below. Let me know that. Also, like, what's your biggest takeaway? What's your action item? How are you going to use this going forward? Also, click that like button before you go so you get more content like this delivered to you, and so the magical algorithms of the internet will share it with more people like you who will find it valuable. You can certainly share it with folks directly, and subscribe before you go. Subscribe here. Also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com. Get my daily emails Monday through Friday, including these videos and exclusive content for email subscribers. One last time, my name is Roy Furr for Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I always aim for that 10 out of 10 value. I hope this simple hack has delivered it, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.